Good, Ron. Good morning, hi, or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, I guess, or whenever you're watching this. Thank you for joining us for our latest, I forget, what did we say, 34? 35th? 34. What, 34? 34th episode of the Sylvia Finding live stream. This week we're continuing our video catalog of all of the pendants, and hopefully we'll get on to some other stuff pretty soon. I think we're getting close to the end. We're going to do trays. And when I say trays, I mean like these. We have these trays. If you've ever seen us at shows, you know the trays. Um, we're doing trays 34 through 35, hopefully today. And it only goes up to 40, so we're getting close. I think 2 more weeks after this one, and then we'll be done with the pendants, and then we'll continue on with something else. And maybe in between this and something else, I'll do something a little different, a little more education based, a little more how to, based. But we're formulating plans, we're working stuff out, we're trying to figure out stuff. Anyway, thanks for joining us again. This is Sylvia Findings. My name is Mark. I'll be your presenter today, as always, or as usual. I guess sometimes Sylvia fills in when I'm not here. Today is the day that we're recording this. If you're watching this after the fact, is January the 20th? 20th. Yeah, 20th. Yeah, I was going to say 19th. But it's 20th today, Wednesday the 20th. So to all of our fans and customers in the States, hey, congratulations. Good on you. New beginning. It's over. Phew. You made it. Onward and upward, as we say, right? Hopefully this year gets better. Pandemic starts getting a little more under control. Start getting vaccines out there, people getting vaccinated. I know that for me, we're in Canada. I'm in British Columbia. I asked my doctor recently. I had pneumonia last year, so I'm in a potentially high, risk group. And I asked him, and he said, "Yeah, I don't know. You'll get it when you get it." So I think they're really focusing on getting first responders and like really old people first. So I'm not sure when the vaccine will be available to normal people, but I guess I'm not considered old enough or at risk enough to be pushed to the front of the line. But I asked, so neither here nor there. Um, right. So. Before I go on, just a couple of preambles things. Of course, same as always, if you share the video, let us know, and we'll send you one of these beautiful polishing cloths. Any orders that you place today during the live stream, any non-wholesale, so any regularly priced orders that you place, thing will be eligible for free shipping. Free regular shipping. That means just like the stamp on it, no tracking, nothing like that. What else? Questions. What were the questions I got this week? I didn't make a list. But I think it was mostly all custom, and more custom orders. Oh my gosh, we have so many custom orders. It's great. We love it. Our factory will be closing end of this month. So like I think Friday the 29th is the day that I think ostensibly that is the last day. But the last day, people show up, people don't show up, they go away. But pretty much the whole month of February it'll be closed. So custom orders, if you're ordering sterling, if you don't have your order in already, your custom order for sterling stuff is not going to happen for at least a month, 6 weeks, like that, something like that. Gold, I think we can still do for another. We can still take custom orders for gold for another week or so because it's a different part of the factory. Different people running that, so that I think we can still do for another week or so, right? Yeah. So if you have any custom ideas, let us know. one of the questions that we get about custom orders, and it seems like we have one or two, but it seems to be more rare. And this is different than what I thought it would have been when we started doing these kind of things. Um, I figured it would be people with, a stone and a great idea, and they have drawings, and they do this whole thing, and that we would be starting literally from scratch. But I think most people use one of our existing pieces and then change the shape of the stone or change the dimensions of the stone or stuff. So a lot of it is extrapolating from stuff that already exists, which is great. It gives us a much more solid beginning to start from. Than just a drawing or an idea, sort of thing. So just know that you can do that. If you're looking through something, you like the look of one particular item, but it doesn't fit your stone, we can recreate that to match your stones. Or whatever. It doesn't even have to be something with a stone. We've had lots of people make, charms or coins or weird things, stuff. When the check clears, we don't care what they're making, as long as it's silver, and as long as it's big enough for us to make it, or small enough for us to make it. What else? Custom shipping. Shipping is the same. It hasn't really gotten much better. I kind of expected, shipping domestically within Canada to get a little bit better after the holidays. It doesn't really seem to have, gotten much better yet. It might, who knows? Who knows how long the backlog takes? I don't think Canada Post is still able to completely cover all of their staff that are quarantined or have COVID, or things. So. There's a lot of people who work for the Canada Post. It's a big crown corporation. Into the States, the shipping is pretty much the same. We still use Chit Chats, which just adds one extra day, gets shipped from within the United States. Oh, I did have one thing I wanted to mention about that. As far as returns go, if you have a return, don't use the address that's on the label that we shipped it to you in, because our shipping service uses a U.S. address so they can ship within the U.S. so we can pay U.S. Postal Service postage, which is about half with Canada Post Services. So we print the label here, it goes on the box, it has their U.S. office, which I think is in Buffalo, New York, or Niagara Falls, or somewhere like that, somewhere in the East Coast. But it's a U.S. address, so it's U.S. Postal Service. They truck it across the border into Washington State, and then they put it into the U.S. Postal Service system, and then it goes across. So don't use, if you have to return something, don't use the address that's on the label, the return address on the box, because, oh my gosh, we had a situation, and it wasn't even a return from the U.S., it was a return from France, that we shipped something to France. The French Postal Service didn't like it, didn't like the address or something. They didn't try to contact the person. They just returned it, and they returned it to the address that was on the box. So even though it ostensibly went from Canada to France, when it came back to the office in New York, and then it was a whole big thing because it's a return. It has to be whatever. There was forms to fill out, and it was a big rigmarole. So. Our address is on the receipt, so use that address, Canadian address. We're in Richmond, BC. Yay! And I think that's it. Let's see, I mentioned about the factory closing for a month. Mentioned about the orders, the questions, custom. We're good. So let's just travel on to the products. Let me go the first one. Our first item here, I'm going to try to keep this in focus because I know last week I had some trouble keeping things in focus. And this little camera doesn't want to focus close up. So, this first one, MTP 1270, the retail price is $21.06 and the wholesale price is $13.17. This is a dragonfly. This is a lapidary special. If you're a lapidarist and you've got little pieces of stones, you can do some intarsia, right? Setting stones in there. The other big thing that this is awesome for, and there's a bigger one, maybe you could see this, a little bit bigger version of this. The cloisons here, the cells, you can fill these in with, resin or you name it. There's a lot of people are doing these commemorative or commemoration, you never, or cremation or commemoration jewelry, where you can put ashes of a loved one or breast milk or your dog's hair or whatever, and the companies will mix it with resin and fill it in a piece of jewelry kind of thing, right? So this is one of the, I think it's awesome for that. And we've got a bunch of things that we have in later trays. I have a couple other things this week, but I think next week we'll be getting into more of them that are really good for that kind of stuff. So anyway, this one, so as a retail and the wholesale price, the retail obviously is the price, and the wholesale price is available to you if you spend at least $150. That's the only criteria, and it doesn't have to be $150 of one thing. It could be $150, across the whole board. So very easy to get to, very easy to do. Right. So that's that one. MTP 1270 is a smaller one, and we've got a bigger one here, MTP 1270A. Retail price $38.44 and the wholesale price $24.03. And again, these are nice, pretty deep cloisons. Although you couldn't really do real cloisonne because enamel you'd have to bake it and you'd lose all the. You couldn't do it with sterling silver, right? It's got to be fine silver or copper to do cloisonne on. Anyway, but you can do foil cloisonne with stones and tarsia kind of thing, or wood, or anything, resin. I love that. Very cool. Our next item here is a kind of a classic pendant here. I'm gonna put this little turquoise in there. MTP 1132 for an 8x10 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $21.29, wholesale price $13.31, and this has got some pretty good. Was that out of focus again? But anyway, you can see pretty good sized prongs. I love all these scrolls and cubic zirconias in there. It's very Victorian looking. I'll just put a little stone in there, give you an idea of what it looks like with a stone in there. Very lovely. And our next one, MTP 1121 for a 6x8 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. This has got that one of those hybrid seats, right? That could fit a cut stone or a cabochon. The prongs are not super tall, so it'd have to be a low dome cab to go in there. And this is just cubic zirconias galore all the way around there, around that setting. And I've got a little hematite cab that fits in there, right? Give you an idea what it looks like with a stone in there. God, I just love all those cubic zirconias. Well, it's a different size, more CZs. Our next item, MTP 1122 for a 5x7 millimeter pear stone. Retail price $29.54, wholesale price $18.46. And this one is cool. It's got the single prong at the top. Oh, that's out of focus again. It's got the single prong at the top, chevron. So it's got to be a pear with a very pointy top, right? If it's kind of curved, it might be difficult, unless it's a cut stone. If it's a cut stone, the pavilion sits down in the seat, and that'll hold it in place as much as the prongs will, right? So if it's a cab, it's got to be very pointy. If it's a cut stone, you can get away with a little bit more of a curved one. And I just love this row of baguettes all the way around that, the outer border of that. And the cubic zirconias and that granulation. Very cool. Here's another one, kind of a spiritual cousin of that one. MTP 1120 for a 7x9 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $32.50. Oh, you know what? Can I do this? Can I make this bigger? No, maybe not. Oh well. $32.55 is the retail price. $20.35 is the wholesale price. And again, let me just pull that. Got a little labradorite stone in there. Very cool. It's not set. It's just put in there. Right. So again, it's got that hybrid seat, not super tall prongs. It's a designed ostensibly for a cut stone, but a cabochon would fit in there. Also, if it's a low dome cab. Again, love that row of baguettes around the outside. And they're not really baguettes too, because they're tapered. So it's a tapered baguette on the inside border, and lovely row of cubic zirconia around the outside border. Right. Our next one, MTP 1138 for an 8x10mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $16.87. Wholesale price is $10.56. And again, this is a nice deep basket, right? It's got some pretty good sized prongs and that hybrid seat. So cut stone or cabochon will work in here great. Just very classic. All those little curly cues, or what do they call those? Kidney shapes. Those are the very common and filigree formations, that kind of kidney shape. Again, nice deep basket with a row of cubic zirconias around the outside. Our next one, this is kind of a lapidary special, because chances of having a cab that actually fits this before you buy the piece is pretty rare. MTP 295 for an approximately 6x18mm. It'd have to be a cabochon. Retail price $21.41. Wholesale price $13.78. And this section in the back, right, with the indentations, right, for glue. If you're a lapidary and you can cut a stone, that piece, and the nice thing about this, if you have a slab of stone and you're cutting cabs out of it, a lot of time the offcuts, the pieces that are cut off from the corners, are kind of close to this thing. So once you've got that piece, it's very easy to grind into that perfect shape. So if you're one of those people who like to not waste anything, this is a great little pendant to have, because you can use all those little offcuts from the edges, the corners of your slabs, to cut into that little thing. Again, sort of have to be a lapidary. It's not the kind of thing that anybody can do with a needle file or something. But as a lot of our customers are lapidaries, I can see already tell that there are a lot of people right there where the wheels are turning right now, saying, "Oh yeah, I can definitely use those." And it's one of those things where you see it at first glance, and a lot of people don't really pay attention to it because it's not a traditional pendant setting. So it's kind of like if you knew what to do with it, you'd love it. But if you didn't, it'd be like, whoa, okay, next. So, next, we've got, this seems to have passed the cultural zeitgeist here. We've got this direwolf pendants, MTP 1128, and we've got three sizes. We've got 4x9 and a bigger one, 5x11, and a bigger one still. Anyway, I'll go through those one by one. But these are a cap, right? That you can shape this opening to whatever you have. You have a big tall Baroque pearl, or a crystal point, or whatever you want. To glue inside there, right? Or you can just wear it just like this. I guess it's kind of cool. If you're a fan of the Starks, if you're a fan of the Lannisters, sorry, we don't have lions or Krakens. If you're a Greyjoy, neither here nor there. I don't want to let my nerd credentials fly too far. Anyway, so this is a really cool direwolf cap pendant. Did I say the price? For a 4x9-ish is the size of the opening, although you could probably bend that open to fit all kinds of things instead of just that 4x9. Retail price $25.86. Wholesale price is $16.16. And the next bigger one up, I'm just going to hold these two together so you could see the the difference. MTP 1127 for 5x11ish is the size of the opening. Although again, you could probably stretch that a little bit, bend it open to fit whatever. Retail price $37.44, and the wholesale price $23.40. And the last one we have, the biggest one of this, is MTP 1126 for a 7x13mm opening. Right. Retail price is, I can't see, $48.72, and wholesale price $30.45. I'll just show you the difference between the smallest and the biggest, right? So they're very cool. And I know they look like dire wolves, but they're not actually those. That's a more heraldic kind of pattern than a than a winter is coming kind of thing. MTP 1110 for a 5mm round cabochon. Or cut stone, maybe? I think you'd have to glue that in there. Retail price is $9.37 and the wholesale price is $6.25. It's got that cute fold over kind of bail with a little pierced heart down at the bottom. And I don't have a stone that would fit in there, but if I did, you would see how lovely. It's cute. Very cute. MTP 1131 for a 15x20mm oval cabochon. Let me see that seat. Yeah, you can definitely put a cut stone in there. These have got nice, big, tall prongs, though. So this is not a particularly thick cab. But that definitely works in there. For a 15x20mm oval cab or cut stone, retail price is $19.59 and the wholesale price is $12.25. And golly, look how nice that lapis looks in that setting. We've got this, the border with the trios of cubic zirconias in there at the cardinal points. Our next item, MTP 1147 for an 8x10mm oval cab or cut stone. This has got one of those hybrid seats, right, with the bevel on the inside. The prongs are not super tall, so low dome cab ideally. Retail price is $16.64. Wholesale price is $10.40. It's just cute, right? Pear-shaped setting for an oval cab with a kind of a cap with cubic zirconias at the top. Our next one, MTP 1148 for 11x14mm pair. Retail price is $14.26 and the wholesale price is $8.91. And this has kind of an interesting shape. I don't know what that is, kind of a mushroom or something. I don't know. Very cool shape with a bunch of cubic zirconias in there. This has kind of a interesting setting. I don't know if you could see this. It's got the standard two prongs on the bottom, standard two prongs at the top. They're not super tall, so a low dome cab or a cut stone will fit in there. But then the setting, right, the bottom of that mushroom shape will go over the tip of the prong, right? So I just covered that whole thing. It's very cool. Next one, MTP 1149 for a 7x9mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $19.20 and the wholesale price is $12. Very interesting spiral effect kind of thing with these rows of cubic zirconias. And let me pull that stone out. No. Again, the hybrid seat, right, with the bevel in there, so perfect for a cab or a cut stone. It'd have to be a low dome cab because the prongs are not super tall. But maybe even a thick cab, as long as it's tapered all the way to the outside edge. That's really the issue that I see with a lot of cabochons. If the edges are very perpendicular to the bottom. It's trickier to get settings for them to fit. Get that stone in there. MTP 1150 for an 8 by 10 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $19.11. Wholesale price $11.95. It's just a classic, swoopy flourishes kind of thing, with one side with cubic zirconias and the other side with frills, coming around the outside. Again, that hybrid seat, so any of those things will match. And I like the detail at the top, how they're clearly two separate pieces, although they're not, it's all one piece, but it's clearly designed to look like it's two separate pieces. And again, I'm just marveling at how much better that aventurine stone looks in the picture than it does in real life, which, yeah. MTP 1151 for a 7 by 9 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $15.20 and the wholesale price is $9.50. Very cool, kind of random swirly flourishes, with some set with cubic zirconias and others not. It's got that plain soldered loop and bail, and the stone, this hangs a little bit diagonal, so the stone would hang a little bit diagonal, which is very cool. I've got a little rhodochrosite, no, rhodonite, one of those rhodo stones. Gosh, I'm gonna get email for sure about that. It's rhodonite, dummy. Right, got that nice hybrid seat for pretty much anything. A cut stone or a cabochon will work in here. Our next item, MTP 1153 for a 10 by 14 millimeter pear-shaped stone. I think it's designed for a cab, but you could definitely put a cut stone in there given the size of the prongs. It's got a lovely flower at the top with a bunch of cubic zirconias in there, right? God, that's just a classic one. I wish I had a stone that fit in there. You'd see how much cooler it is than just the frame. But did I say the price? MTP 1153, 1574, and the wholesale price is $9.84. Right. Well, you can read that right off the card. This next one, oops, stone popped out. MTP 1153 for an 8 by 10 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $13.12 and the wholesale price is $8.19. And this is a cute, the little fairy figure is the bail, right? It's incorporated in the bail, and we've got her wings sticking up out the back, and she's sitting on top of the seat. Let me put that stone in there. That's not going to stay in there, but you get an idea what it looks like. Right, so she's sitting on top of the stone. Very cute. You can't go wrong with that kind of, fairies and elves and dragons and stuff. People love that stuff. MTP 389 for a 12 by 18 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $28.83. Wholesale price is $19.23. And this got like a stylized heart or maybe a butterfly wing, something up one side to form the bail. A little bit off center. Very modern. Here's one with, oh, the stone's popped sideways. MTP 1171. Probably a tiger's eye is not the best stone to put in there anyway, but for a 6 by 8 millimeter oval cabochon, retail price is $13.04, wholesale price is $8.15, and again, those lovely little curly Q components around the outside, little hearts. It's got a pretty deep basket, so cut stone would work beautifully in here. I've got a cab that might fit. Does that fit? Oh, okay, never mind. The last one in this tray is MTP 1172 for an 8 by 10 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $19.80 and the wholesale price is $12.38. Kind of octagonal shape, I guess. with rows of cubic zirconias around the outside and those filigree components on the inside that hold the seat. It's kind of nice scalloped bail, and I've put a little tiger's eye in there, which is maybe a little incongruous for that style. The prongs are a good size, so cabochon or cut stone will work great in there. The seat is not super wide, so yeah, boy, you can put pretty much anything in there, and that would work great. And we're getting out of the bling now. Pretty much all the settings in that tray had lots of stones and weird, not weird, but just very cool settings. These are a little more traditional, small ones. Hello, I was wondering if you have any bales with pegs. Bales with pegs. Oh yeah, you mean like pearl settings, right? So like a bale with a cap and a peg to glue a pearl on. That's what you mean? Oh, sorry. Marble just showed me the question. I didn't catch a name. Yeah, we've got lots of those. Yeah. Oops. Right, so here, just for example, there's a tray that we have tons of these kinds of things. Let me just show you one. Golly, I don't know, just anything. Pick one, Mark. Oh, there's so many. Here. Right, here's one very cute bale with a bunch of cubic zirconias. So it's got that cup and peg. I don't know if that's the kind of thing you mean. We've got lots more very plain ones like this, right, with a bale with a loop and a cap with a peg to glue into thing, whatever. We've got anything from very plain ones like that to gorgeous, beautiful, ornate ones with very interesting bales with caps, and this guy, you can see the peg in there, to oh gosh, wildly elaborate. God, look at this gorgeous, swoopy, bale with rows of cubic zirconias in there. So yeah, I don't know if that's the kind of thing you were asking about, but yes, we have tons. Those would be, if you're interested in going to look, it's in the website. If you look under bales, I think, or pearl settings, pearl bales, pearl bales, I think is bales for pearls is the place where all of those kinds of things are. But yeah, God, we've got tons of those kind of things.
Gemstone.
Yes, but for gemstones.
Bales for
Gee,
gemstones.
now when you say for gemstones, golly, you see, this is one of those things where I'm sure you know exactly in your mind what you're thinking of, but the information I have is different than what you're thinking of. Do you mean like with a peg? Because if it's a peg and you have a hole drilled in your stone, any of those will work. It doesn't have to be a pearl. Pearls are kind of more traditional for those kind of things. But let me get... So yeah, pearls are a little more traditional for those kind of settings, but you could definitely do them. Or if you mean, gemstones with no holes in them, because then that's pretty much all of these pendants are for that kind of thing. All of these pendants have bales in them. If you mean gluing, things on, we've got lots of things that you could glue onto stones, right? Like this kind of thing, right? That glues onto the back. So you see that from the front, but that glues on the back. We've got a couple of different sizes of those. We've got, more interesting ones, like that kind of glue on thing. Or if it's, a function of like a pinch bale. You know, we've got. I don't know, here. Just show you something, right? Um, right, something like this, where there's a big bale with a nice little pinch. That's not a pinch one, but that's a through bale. But you know, the same idea. Uh, so I guess I would need to see the stone that you're wanting to set before I could give a definitive answer. Because just like that, but for gemstones, that I mean, it works the same whether it's pearls or gemstones. Sorry, Marble. She has another little more information here.
No,
No?
this is the
Oh, you
website
put her
link.
links for bales.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna move on with that while we wait for more information about that customer request. Um, Here's a lovely MTP 314 for a 4x6mm oval cabochon or cutstone. The most interesting piece of this, I guess, you know, kind of the kind of design of this thing is the actual bale, right? So that's actually the bale, and then there's just got a simple basket, you know, hanging off the bottom of that. MTP 314 again for a 4x6mm stone. Retail price is $10.60. The wholesale price is $5.29. MTP 315 for another 4x6mm oval cabochon. Maybe a cut stone. Retail price $12.49. Wholesale price is $6.25. And this is all one piece, right? With the bale incorporated into the piece. Right, very classic, very postmodern. And we've got a bunch of these. And you know what? Let me just move. I'm just going to change position of something here. And I'm going to move this. Because we have a whole bunch of settings that are kind of similar, and I wanted to keep them all together. MTP 337 for a 10x12mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $23.63. Wholesale price is $11.82. Just very cute, you know, spiral fan shaped thing, and I've got a little goldstone, blue goldstone cab in there. Next one, MTP 317 for a 5x7mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $11.70 and wholesale price is $5.85. Very simple, very cute, right? Soldered loop and bale. A little cab in there. If you can see that, it's got that nice plain flat seat. That is good for just about anything. Any stone you can put in there of the shape that fits, obviously. MTP 318 for a 5x7mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $13.09. Wholesale price is $6.54. The prongs in this are not super tall, so you know, if it's a real thick cab with perpendicular sides, may not set very easily in this one. But everything else sure will. Got more small ones, and I wish I could zoom in on this thing because a lot of these next ones are kind of small settings. MTP 319 for a 5x7mm oval cab or cut stone. Retail price is $11.05. Wholesale price is $5.53. And it's a nice simple, you know, oval with an oval seat inside. Obviously, this kind of thing you probably wouldn't see so much. It would just look like, let me see if I can put this stone in there, right? Give me an idea. No, it doesn't really fit. Oh well. You know, you'd see the big wide oval, but not really the seat on the inside. Again, it kind of changes a lot how something looks, whether there's a stone in there or not. I think I saw it. It was the simple one with the peg. It's just a rough stone that will have to be top drilled. Great! Okay. Gee, yes, yes. If it's just a rough stone that you have that you're going to drill a hole through and you need to cup it, any of those, we call them on the website 4 pearls because traditionally they're used 4 pearls, but any of those things will work with a cup and peg for stones, rough stones drilled, whatever. Definitely. Um, I'll pull that one out and we'll message you later with the prices of that one. MTP 320 for a 5x7 mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is 1970, and the wholesale price is 984. And this is one of those I can never remember the name, Inukshuk or something like that, where it's the stacked stones that create a person. And I just put a little cut amethyst in there, cut stone in there, although pretty much anything will work. Very cute. MTP 321 for a 5x7 mm oval cab or cut stone. Retail price is $962 and the wholesale price is $481. And again, just very simple, very small. Got that hybrid seat, good size prongs, so pretty much anything will fit in there in that size. It's good, classic, simple, all around. And most of these next few ones are all like that, very simple, very classic. MTP 322 for a 5x7 mm oval cab or cut stone with a hybrid seat. Retail price $991, wholesale price is $495. And I don't know if you could see from here, but there's just little cubic zirconias in the top and the bottom, and those kind of flourishes around the side, kind of ribbon flourishes, right? MTP 323 for a 5x7 mm oval cab or cut stone. Retail price is $10.06 and wholesale price is $5.03. I don't know, very cute. I don't know how else to describe this. It's just very simple, kind of a rope shape pattern that goes around the seat. Here's one that I had a little stone set in there. MTP 325 for a 5x7 mm oval cut stone or cab. Retail price is $11.15. Wholesale price is $6.92. And just a cute pear-shaped background, right, with those flourishes around the outside. Here it is with the stone in there. Not very centered. It's not going to work because I'm holding it upright. MTP 326 for a 5x7 mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $11.70. Wholesale price is $5.95. Again, very cute. All those rows of border around the seat that you would see instead of just the stone on the inside. Quite nice. MTP 327 for a 6x8 mm oval cab or cut stone. Retail price is $15.33 and the wholesale price is $7.66. For MTP 328 for a 6x8 mm oval. Retail price $19.24, wholesale price is $9.62. Again, these prongs are not super tall, so a good low dome cab or a cut stone would be perfect in that. I love that kind of sideways cat's eye thing. Well, you could almost, if you could move this loop and solder this loop to the other side, that could be a good Eye of Horus. Neither here nor there. MTP 330. Yeah, 330 for a 6x8 mm oval cab or cut stone. Retail price is $13.35. Wholesale price is $6.68. Two lovely ribbons, right, terminating in the top of that setting. Our next one, MTP 332 for a 6x8 mm cabochon. Retail price is $11.44 and the wholesale price is $5.72. Now these next few ones, I just wanted to show you a possibility. This one is a turtle, right? I think for a 6x8 cab, and I'll explain it in this one because it's a little easier to see. In this MTP 335 for 8 by 10 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $25.19 and wholesale price is $12.60. And we've got a bunch of these coming up in the next couple of trays. Um, different animal shapes and things with these cabs. Now, if you obviously if you had an 8x10 cab that fits in there, just glue that right in there, and that's great. But you could also seal the back with tape, masking tape, duct tape, electrical tape, whatever, and then fill these sections with not enamel, resin. So those people who are doing your commemorative or commemoration jewelry, definitely think about using these things, right, to fill in. I would just love to see these things with all these cloisons filled in. Now they're obviously the sections of the legs and the body and the head are not specifically designed to be filled that way, but so what? When is the last time you've ever used something exactly what it was meant for, right? I mean, if you're a jeweler, boy, you just make up all kinds of stuff. Here's that one that I moved from the very beginning. MTP 316 for a 4x6 millimeter oval cabochon. Retail price $15.02. Wholesale price $7.50. And again, a little dragonfly thing, which again, if you sealed up the back with a piece of tape, you could definitely pour resin in there and, see all kinds of weird things. I've gone down this weird YouTube rabbit hole recently, watching people fill things with resin. Yeah, it's amazing. MTP 350 for a 4x6 millimeter oval cab. Retail price $13.53. Wholesale price $8.11. And this bear print, right? With that lovely thing. Here's a kind of a negative version of this, MTP 355 for 8 by 10 millimeter cabochon. Retail price $20.12. Wholesale price is $10.06. And again, another bear print, but with the paw prints and the claw prints pierced and cut out on the back. Right, piece, very cool. Here's one that's kind of out of sequence, but we'll go with it. MTP 362 for a 7 by 10 millimeter pear-shaped cab or cut stone. Retail price is $11.45, and the wholesale price is $5.72. And this is just lovely, classic, very simple, very big, wide, bold border with a soldered loop and bail. Okay. Getting back into those animal things, MTP 370 for a 4 by 6 millimeter oval cab and cut stone. Retail price $18.15 and the wholesale price is $9.07. Again, 4 by 6 cab for a cut stone in there, or not a cut stone, but a cabochon. Or I would love to see somebody do this with some resin. MTP 333 for a 6 by 8 millimeter oval cabochon. Retail price $15.91. Wholesale price is $7.96. We've got this lovely Canadian maple leaf. I guess it doesn't have to be Canadian. Could be from Vermont. Or maples are everywhere, right? Aren't they everywhere in the world? Maple leaf. But being Canadian, of course, I automatically associate this with Canada. I'm not going to sing. Sing the anthem. MTP 371 for a 4 by 6 millimeter oval cabochon. Retail price $15.91. Wholesale price $7.96. Nice little leaping dolphin, I guess. I put a little tiger's eye in there. Right, but it's not going to come out now. I'll just pop it out later. Oh. It popped out just as I was moving it. Perfect. Here's a leaping orca MTP 352 for a 4 by 6 millimeter oval cab. 14.47 is the retail price, and 7.24 is the wholesale price. Oh, I see an orca, but I guess it could be a shark too. Anyway, our next one, there's no mistake, is the little bear cub, MTP 357 for a 10 by 12 millimeter oval cab. Retail price $24.06 and the wholesale price is $12.03. And I put this doesn't exactly fit; it's about a millimeter too small, but just sometimes it's fun to see a stone in there. You get an idea what it looks like without something in there. Although I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with the idea of filling these things with resin. MTP 354 for an 8 by 10 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $20.64 and wholesale price $10.32 for this polar bear. The wandering polar bear. Again, another one. MTP, I guess it's also polar bear. MTP 339 for a 10 by 14 millimeter cab this time. $23.30 is the retail price and $11.65 is the wholesale price. And because you can never have too many bears, another bear, MTP 351 for a 4 by 6 millimeter cab this time. Retail price is $18.54 and the wholesale price is $11.13. Just, right? Am I wrong? How cool that would look filled with resin? Anyway, I'm not going to go too hard on that idea. I just love that we have all these pendants that, because that commemoration jewelry is just becoming so popular these days. MTP 345 for a 7 by 10 millimeter oval cab or cut stone. Not a cut stone. You can put a cut stone in there. For a cab. Retail price $16.13 and the wholesale price is $8.06 for that lovely butterfly. And here's another, well, I guess it should be with the other ones. It's kind of a smaller version of that other one that I showed you before. MTP 336 for an 8 by 10 millimeter oval cab. Retail price $25.91 and the wholesale price $12.95. Another bear print with the claws indented but not pierced. And in case I wasn't feeling nationalistic enough, here's a couple more maple leaves. MTP 366 for a 6 millimeter oval or round cabochon. Retail price $19.12 and the wholesale price is $9.56. And this lovely maple leaf, again, right? It's nice and thick. What is that? Probably at least 18 gauge, maybe 19 gauge, or maybe 16 gauge, maybe even, with a soldered loop and bail. Here's another maple leaf. This one with a cup and peg. Retail price $16.13, wholesale price $8.07, and the code for this MTP 364. And we don't have a size listed on here because while the cup in the bottom is probably about 6 millimeter wide, you could put a pearl up to from that small, maybe 4 millimeters, 6 millimeter, all the way up to 10, 12 millimeters even. Obviously you reach a point where the pearl is too big for the setting, but and it just looks weird. But and I keep saying pearl, but you can put any sphere that has partial drilled, half drilled thing, or stone, or just a rock you found in your yard, and you drill a hole partly through it. MTP 342 for a 7 by 10 millimeter pear shaped cabochon or cut stone. I love these double prongs at the top instead of that chevron. Way more versatile. 50 retail price $15.43 and the wholesale price is $7.71. This has just that lovely soldered loop and bail. Again, it's a little bit out of sequence, but getting back to the MTP 373 for a 4x6mm oval cab. Retail price is $15.99. Wholesale price is $8. And this to me is orca for sure. Leaping orca out of the ground. And we're almost, I think we're only have one more of those kind of animal pendants. MTP 343 for a 7x10mm pear-shaped cab. Or a cut stone, right? Good sized prongs, so pretty much anything will fit in there. I love the double prongs at the top again. The chevrons work great if you have a pointy top, but a lot of times if you're cutting these cabs yourself, the pointier the top, the trickier it is to keep, the dome even all the way around. So sometimes they end up a little bit curved, which, for this kind of thing would be just great. This is just super simple. If you saw this, all you would see is the pear and the little bail up at the top, right? You wouldn't see any of the other stuff. It would just look like your stone and then those rabbit ear split bail. I call them rabbit ears. Retail price $10.35. Wholesale price is $5.17. Another question, Barb. Hi, Bear. Barb. I want the bear setting. Which one? There's like 10 bear settings here. I know.
So call your tenant.
I know that we're supposed to talk on the phone later, so I'll definitely we'll go through them. I'll send you pictures. MTP 367 for an 8mm round cabochon. Just very cute teardrop kind of flourish around the seat. Very simple. Retail price $20.84. Wholesale price $10.41 for that one. And again, boy, this you could also seal the back and fill that with resin. I'm obsessed. MTP 372 for a 4x6mm oval cab or resin. $18.53 is the retail price, and $9.27 is the wholesale price for this lovely little dragonfly. Here's a MTP 381 for a 4x5mm oval cab or maybe a cut stone. Retail price $10.35, wholesale price $7.76 for this trefoil clover border right around a loop. Here we've got a couple of super big blingy ones. Here we've got this MTP 1156 for a 17x24mm oval cabochon, or maybe a cut stone we'll get in there too. Retail price is $54.91. Wholesale price is $34.32. And I had a stone that fit this one. I don't know if you could see, it's just rows or ray of or rows and rows of rays of cubic zirconias, coming all the way around. That lovely blingy bail at the top. And this is what it looks like without the stone in there, obviously. Very simple seat thing. Dragonfly, any bigger stone setting area? I'd have to go back and look at that other one, because there's, as far as the dragonflies, we've got this one that I just showed you with a 4x6, and then there's that other one is also 4x6. I don't know. Those other big ones are not. There isn't like a specific stone size to fit in there, but lots more stone setting area in those. Where was I? I don't know if that answers your question. Not really. MTP 1157 for a 13 by 18 millimeter oval cabochon or cutstone. Obviously, I have a cutstone in here. Retail price is $40.98 and the wholesale price is $25.61. And we've got these lovely marquise stones all the way around the border with cubic zirconias on either side in between the points, and that inverted pear at the top with the bail. This has got super long prongs, so golly, no matter how big your cab is, you'll be able to fit in there. And this stone, you see the seat, right? That sits right down on there beautifully, and so the prongs would probably only extend about halfway into the crown of that, which is maybe a little bit longer than you technically need it to be, but just gorgeous. Look at that cool stone in there. It's another example of how the stone looks nicer in real life than it does, or nicer on camera than it does in real life. Now the next three are just some plain lockets, right? We've got these little glass lockets. I probably should have cleaned these before I put them on camera. MTP 1058. This is a 20 millimeter round. Retail price is $42.71 and $26.69. And these lockets, the way they work, I've just got one of these other sizes, right? There's a little notch in one side, and you just push your finger into that notch, and that pulls it open. Doink! And that opens up, right? Hinge on the other side, and you could put things in there. I think when we measured, it's up to like 3 millimeters. I think 3 or 4 millimeters can be as thick as this. If you try to put anything too big when you close it, the panes of glass will break, or they might pop open. I think. So we've got round one, right? This round 20 millimeter one, retail price $42.71, wholesale price is $26.69. And we've got quatrefoil shape. Yes, that's really the name of this shape. MTP 1066 for a 20 by 20-ish, I guess, millimeters is the size. $46.90 is a retail price, and $29.32 is the wholesale price. And of course, you have to have a heart. MTP 1059 for a 14 by 20-ish, I guess, I think. Although I think usually what people put in these things are lots of little tiny, maybe some little shells, some little crystals, little found objects, stuff like that, little tiny pieces. Very cute. This one is retail price $44.89 and the wholesale price is $28.05. And we sell a bunch of these. They're very good. I think those are really the only lockets we have too. MTP 1105 for a 12 by 16 millimeter oval cabochon or cutstone. I don't have I think I do have one that size, but I'm not going to put it in there. Just lovely flourishes on the side, not a super deep basket, but giant prongs, gorgeous, prongs. So no matter how thick your cab is, you'll be able to set it in this little pendant. Here's another spiritual cousin of that one, MTP 1104 for a 10 by 12 millimeter oval cabochon or cutstone. Retail price $12.34, wholesale price $6.92, and these ribbon flourishes around the side that draped over. Again, nice deep, nice tall prongs. So no matter what your how thick your cabochon is, that'll work. And the last one for today, MTP 1137 for a 15 by 20 millimeter oval cabochon or cutstone. It's got a super deep basket, so definitely designed for cutstone with these lovely filigree elements around the side. And a very interesting G. I don't think it's meant to be a G. I just think it's meant to be a geometric shape, but to me it looks like a G bail at the top. So if your name starts with a G, this is your pendant. $14.17 is the retail price. $8.87 is the wholesale price. Again, this for a 15 by 20 millimeter oval cutstone or cab. A cab might look weird in here because it has such a deep basket. It might be too much weight in the forward. But for a cutstone with a deep pavilion, this is perfect for that. So that's it for this week. Those are the 3 trays I wanted to do. I know I went a little bit over. It says on Marble's phone here 69 minutes. So that's technically 9 minutes longer than I wanted to go usually. But I'm not sure how long the actual stream is. I think the camera starts a little bit sooner than the stream does. So thank you for joining us again, Barb and was it Chi?
Chi.
We'll get back to you on those questions. And Barb,
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Yeah, if you can call the office at 2 o'clock. 604 998 7989. 604 998 7989 is the office number, and I'll be back from lunch at 2 o'clock local time. So when is it? I guess that's 3 o'clock your time, right?
No. She's in Nanaimo.
Oh, you're in Nanaimo. Why did I think you were in Edmonton or Calgary? You're in Nanaimo, so at the same time as us. I think so. Give me a call then, and we'll talk about bears and all those other cabs that you sent us to look through. You should not send things in the mail, valuable things in the mail. But it's all good. We love our customers. We love doing anything we need to make you happy. That's the point. We're not the DMV. We're not the dentist. Nobody comes here, being angry and unhappy. Everybody who comes here already has, the creative juices flowing, their artistic, things going. So it's a happy place, right? Always happy. That's our point. So keep creating. Take care of yourself. Take care of the planet. Take care of your mental health. Keep creating. Keep working. Keep those creative juices flowing. And we will see you next week for probably the penultimate episode of the pendants. There might be another one after because we have some things, but neither here nor there. Maybe. And we'll see you then. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye bye.